Hi, Michaela Harris here. I appreciate you reaching out for this video. I really like making these for business owners because I love being able to show them some really effective ways to grow their business and grow their brand awareness and basically bring in a lot more customers. So throughout this video, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on some of the best ways to grow any service-based business. This is what I do for a living, and I'm going to give you a lot of tips and things that we start our clients out on and what helps grow their businesses exponentially. So I hope that you find these tips extremely useful. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask at the end of the video. So first off, I didn't find a business profile or a Facebook page or a website. Now, not to say that you don't have any of those, but because I was having trouble finding them, I'm going to operate through this video under the assumption that you don't, but any of the tips that I give you are going to be valid if you do. So, still good, valuable information, even if you do already have these things. First off, anybody who is looking for a service-based business is usually going to find them online nowadays. A lot of these traditional marketing methods are not as effective, like door hangers and yard signs. Not to say that they're not effective, they're just not the most effective. So a lot of people are looking online, so my number one recommendation, what I do for all my clients, is start them out with a comprehensive social media presence, meaning getting them a profile on all the major social media outlets and posting on them regularly. The next thing I always do is make sure they have a Google business profile that's optimized, but for you to go create one, if you don't have one, go to your Google Apps and create one here. Get it completely filled out. Make sure you're being very thorough and paying attention and filling out all the information using that description, and then get it verified. Then you're going to want to get more photos, reviews, and citations than your top competitor. It does help to have those photos optimized and geotagged, but it's helpful just to have photos in general. Then the next thing are going to be those citations that I mentioned. Citations are listing sites like Yelp or Yellow pages that list your name, address, and phone number exactly as it appears on your business profile. Consistency with your name, address, and phone number is extremely important across the web. You want to make sure that it's super easy for these algorithms to identify each of these different pages as the same company. So when someone is coming in here to search, if they don't know a company by name, they're going to search what we call a keyword. So anything that they type in is going to be a keyword. Now, there are keywords that are used a lot more often than others, and these are the keywords that you want to target, those that are high volume and those that are buyer intent. So buyer intent usually looks like a service in a city, and when someone's doing this, they're searching with the intention of hiring a company for a service. And they're going to see the top 3 businesses and maps in the first page of organic URLs. 9 out of 10 people will never make it to the second page. Most won't even click more businesses. You want to be as easy as possible for your customers to find you in order for them to utilize your services. If they don't know you exist, they can't use you. So, I want to show you what's out there in your area for concrete. However, with San Angelo not being a heavily populated city and it's kind of out away from all those other heavily populated areas in Texas, having a website is beneficial, but you don't need an elaborate one. And you can actually market to a lot of those smaller towns around you and try to rank in those areas as well. But really and truly, your Google business profile is going to be one of the best tools for you to use because it is local. You can use a website, like I said. It doesn't have to be elaborate. And I'm going to take a look at your top competitor for that search right here, just to give you an example. When you go create this, Google algorithms like to see 1,500 to 2,000 words of content on that homepage. It tends to be a sweet spot. And you want to make sure you're putting those keywords throughout that content. And when you do this, you're going to want to make sure they're the exact keywords. And then any of your services, so depending on different things that you do concrete-wise, whether you're just doing flooring, driveways, walkways, commercial, residential, anything that you're doing, you can list those services out on separate pages and put about 500 to 750 words and put keywords throughout that content as well. Now, if you're not familiar with website building platforms, I always recommend snaps.ai to anyone who is trying to build them on their own because it's pretty easy drag and drop type stuff and it's really good for search engine optimization. The next thing I want to show you is the statistics behind that top competitor's website. And you can see here that your top competitor has a UR and a DR that is pretty low. Now, UR and DR is how trustworthy and powerful your website is in the eyes of a search engine, and right now his is pretty low. So that tells me that some of these backlinks may not be the best. Now, you want backlinks, which are just links from another website back to you, to be strong and authoritative. If they are coming from a spammy website or a blog that's completely irrelevant to you or anything of that nature, they're not really going to help you much. They're basically giving you an endorsement, so you want their endorsement to be a good one. You want them to be a good, powerful site, so that when they give you that endorsement, they're throwing some power your way and helping power your website and show Google that you're pretty popular. So it's basically a pretty big popularity contest. What's also important are going to be these organic keywords. Now, these keywords are going to be the ones like what I showed you, what people are typing in on search engines. And you can see here, Concrete San Angelo, Texas has 70 searches a month. General Contractors, if you fall under that, is 30 searches a month. Here's another 70 searches a month. Flooring, I know that flooring can mean a lot of things that's not concrete, but it can also mean concrete. So there's search volume out there for that too. So even though there's not a lot of search volume, I still think a website would be super beneficial because there are still people searching, and this volume number tends to be lower than what's actually in reality. So being able to be super comprehensive, making sure that you're ranking in not only your main service area of San Angelo, but also those around you, and being in this map section is going to get you a lot of face time with customers that you wouldn't otherwise have if you weren't here. It's better to be in as many places as possible and be the easiest to find so that your customers can actually use you. Because if you're not here, the people that are searching are not going to find you. So again, making sure you have those social profiles and making sure you've got that business profile on that website is going to be a huge growth factor for your company and establishing that brand. And of course, if you ever get to the point that you want to grow and expand out to some of those cities, I know they're a pretty decent distance away, like Austin, Dallas, any of the major cities in Texas. If you want to actually serve the whole state of Texas, if you want to take it that far one day, then you have the ability to do that. And the same concepts here still apply. Now, the search volume is going to be a lot higher in more heavily populated areas. But ultimately, I hope these tips are helpful and useful to you. Of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to talk with you more about it. But otherwise, I hope you have a good rest of your day.